I tricked you. Because I know how you think, and I can put a picture and a bunch of words in front of you and know that you're going to click on my video to find out about a particular cryptocurrency. Now, the problem is that a bunch of crypto YouTubers have also figured this out too, which means that you tend to just watch regurgitated content over and over again. This means that you don't learn anything new, and in fact, you then jump into cryptocurrencies that have already been trending for the last week or so. However, in this video, I'm going to show you the exact process to identify coins that are about to start trending and start picking up on the YouTube cycle so that you get ahead of the curve. It's super simple. Anyone can do it. It's free. And if you don't have any other reasons why you shouldn't be watching it, good. Hit the like button and let's get into it. If you've been subscribed to my channel, then you'll know my channel has been growing very quickly during a bear market. And it partly is down to a few good videos that I've made that have performed quite well. First of all, you have classics like Whales Hate This, which I made back in June and has done 122,000 views. And since this video has done well, we've also had Whales Hate This from Jay Gordon, and we've now had Whales Hate This from No BS Crypto. More recently, I've had Calm the F Down do quite well with 22,000 views just 8 days ago. And then just after that, we had Calm the F Down from Jay Gordon. Now, I'm not doing this to knock them because they're both good guys and they have good channels, but all they're doing is realizing the game of YouTube when it comes to cryptocurrency. And the deal is, the better I can hook you to watch a video, the more likely you are going to click on my video, the more money I make. Simple. And if something works, why fix it? And that's why basically everyone else will then try and do the same sort of thing. The problem you're now getting then, as a viewer, is you just tend to see the same content over and over again. The problem is, once something starts trending and YouTubers start to pick up on it, let's say I get 15,000, another guy gets sort of 15, 20,000 views on all sort of the same sort of content, you have 100,000 people who then just rush off and buy the latest cryptocurrency, and then that pumps the price up, and now you're too late because you probably watched it after everyone else has basically seen it as well. That's why in my free Telegram, which is linked down below in the description, lots of people just talk about the coins that the various YouTubers are talking about every single day. Previously, everyone was talking about HBAR and Jasmy. Now everyone's talking about Render Token and Veracity. And I think the next coin that everyone's going to talk about is Rollbit, because I talked about it yesterday. I've also heard Virtual Bacon talk about it, and other people talk about these as well. Now, I'm not saying you should never watch crypto YouTube videos, guys, because then I will obviously be out of business, but you get the picture. So guys, how do we overcome this? Well, being the good bloke that I am, I went away and I tried to find a little tool that's going to help you, an absolutely free blinder of a tool. Now, what you might notice if you are using Twitter for your crypto research, which is pretty much the most golden tool out there, that a lot of the trends that are seen on YouTube are actually initiated on places like Twitter. And I recommend you go and give me a follow over on Twitter, because often the stuff I talk about on YouTube videos appears there first. Also, when we get towards 5,000 followers on Twitter, I'll be giving away a cash prize to people who are following me and retweeting my content over there, of which every single day I'm bringing you threads like this one about Render Token and all the other trending coins. But here we are, guys. Lunar Crush is a website that allows you to search various different categories. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's not just in crypto here. It's basically a social media scanning tool. What we're going to use, though, is click on cryptocurrencies, and this down below has absolutely blown my mind because it's really, really useful. Now, you're looking at it thinking, well, it just looks like anything you get on CoinMarketCap, but no. What you're seeing, guys, is something far more important. We have a rank here of obviously the different coins, and it kind of looks Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Solana, all very important. And then suddenly you go down the list and you're like, why is there Meme Pineapple and Pepe and all these coins up here that aren't really ranked there in crypto? Well, it's because this website is basically giving you a rank on the performance by interactions in terms of social media. Now, that's a mouthful. But what I'm actually saying is basically these cryptocurrencies are ranking here because of the number of times they're being talked about and shared about and retweeted and all that good stuff. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Well, if you are, then you're on the right page. What I'm thinking is, well, fair enough, these coins at the top are obviously going to be there because they're big market caps, they've got massive followings. Solana's got like 2 million followers, etc. But then you're like, well, these coins down here, there's something we need to be paying attention to because they are coins we probably never even heard of with small market caps that are suddenly being talked about by everyone. And what happens when small market cap coins get talked about by everyone? Well, everyone runs in and tries to buy it when it's got a low market cap. What's the effect of that? Well, it drives the market cap price up. If you are holding a coin at $1 and the market cap goes up 10x, then now you've got yourself $10. Congratulations. So what we need to pay attention to is not this stuff. We don't care about the price. We don't really care about the 1 hour percentage move. But what we might want to care about is what's happening over here on the alt rank and the topic rank. And what's the alt rank? Well, it combines the social and market metric, looks at market volume, social volume, relative comparisons versus Bitcoin and social engagements on a rank of the strongest. The topic rank ranks every topic across Lunar Crush, not only the ones you see listed based on the number of interactions in the last 24 hours. Okay, so what we're paying attention to is then like the alt rank, and we can also pay attention to the topic rank. And then on the right hand side, you got kind of like the green charts, okay, which show us, or red charts perhaps, what's really been going on. And you will notice that when like the ranking of some of these coins goes down, the price of them also starts to deteriorate as well. And what we don't want to do is really pay too much attention to the coins that everyone's been talking about on YouTube recently. We got Casper, Near Protocol has been talked about a bit, Injective I talked about the other day, Veracity, Render Token, because now you'll start to see that these coins, whilst they've been talked about regularly, are starting to maybe take a little bit of a dip off, because now we're moving on to the next kind of iteration of stuff that's going to be interesting and going on. And why right this second is a particularly interesting time to do it is because money's pouring into crypto, and every single day this crypto bubbles chart is looking different because different coins are coming out of nowhere and having a good pump, like Rune and Rose and MEXC. And yesterday you might have seen something completely different because Solana, which is now up 7.4% today, was yesterday down heavily. The day before that was up 16%. And I've got a secret for you. Stop focusing so heavily on like, oh, but this project does this, and but the smart contract, and Casper doesn't have like venture capital and all that stuff. And you know, XRP is about to win its court case and we're all going to be rich. Well, what we really want to focus on small caps right now, if you want to make some kind of quick quid money, is basically coins that are starting to get picked up by the social media aspect. Because right now, you don't really need a huge amount of money to see massive boosts in sub-billion-dollar tokens. So, how do we find what's about to pump next? I hear you cry. Don't worry, guys, relax. We'll go through this. We've got time. As soon as you've hit that like button, you can carry on with it. Good. Let's do it. Let's go down the list, guys, right? It depends how much time you want to spend on this, okay? How many you want to kind of pick up on. Now, some of these you will see have like rocketed up in like the alt rank and whatever, but then you come across and the market cap's like 0 and it doesn't really make much sense. So TIA, don't know what it is. Don't really care. What we can simply do to make it much easier is to sort by market cap. Now, obviously, we're not interested in these big market cap coins right this second because we already know about them. Everyone already knows about them. We get down here to under $1 billion. And some of these you might start to notice people have been talking about recently. Stacks, I saw in a video by Virtual Bacon. I made a video about Algorand because it's a popular token. People like it. Render Token, we already know about. However, there's a few tokens here that have caught my attention, and that's because of this. In the last bull market, coins such as Mana Decentraland, which is not a minnow by any means, performed incredibly strongly. And as we walk across and look on the right hand side, you can see the market cap, 770 million. It's not small, don't get me wrong. And then you got $66 million in volume. I'm like, interesting. Neo as well, you can see market cap, 782 million. And then the volume, 187 million. As a percentage of the market cap, you will see that the volume is insane. So since we're on it, let's just look at Decentraland, okay? Now, if you're new to crypto and you don't know what Mana Decentraland is, Mana Decentraland basically was the original kind of metaverse token. Now, whether or not you think the metaverse and stuff within Mana Decentraland is any good or not, I don't really care. So why don't I care? Not because I don't value your opinion, but because this happened last time to Mana Decentraland, where you'll see that nearly nothing happened. It gets out this green box and it bursts like nearly in the space of 2 weeks, 466%, and then it carried on to around 656%. It then had a pullback, and then in a single week, it went from being worth around 80 cents to all the way up to $3.7. That was around 414%. And then it carried on in the next like subsequent 3 or 4 weeks, 8x. Why did it manage to rise from the ashes? Well, if I had Lunar Crush around here, I might have started to notice this coin being picked up more on social media, having more interactions, people talking about it more, before it gets into the mass kind of hysteria that is YouTube of all the basically like exit liquidity buyers. And what do I mean by an exit liquidity buyer? Well, I'm sorry, this might hurt you a little bit because you've probably been an exit liquidity buyer at some point, because I definitely have. What's an exit liquidity buyer? Well, look at this spike here. Look at this candle. Basically, all these people who bought here and then it had it rip back on you. Now, if you bought that very top of that spike and it pulled back, literally a week and a half later, you would have been down 56%. And you're like, yeah, but it carried on after that. But, you know, if you're buying in after a pump like that, you're down 55%, you're probably going to cut and run. So what else is important with this Mana Decentraland? Well, I've got the chart out, and you might be like, oh, charts are boring and I don't really understand them. Let me just show you something very simple. And if you subscribe, you'll know it, but you don't understand this. Right now, Mana Decentraland is in a green box. You're like, what's this green box got to do with me? Bear with me. Look at it. This is very, very easy. Last time, Mana Decentraland was in this green box. It was here. In fact, to go into it here again. Look at what happens every time it goes in the green box. 1, massive pump. Comes back down into it. 2, massive pumps. 3 pumps. It's not massive, but it's getting there, okay? Now, this is the most important part, and this is going to line up for everything you're looking at right now. Social media interest coming in. Big one. Mana Decentraland in what is called a buy zone. How do I know it's a buy zone? Guys, every time it was in this green box, lots of people started buying because it was the right value. Every time it's going to get back in there, it's going to get to the right value again. Now, let me give you an example. If you like apples, like I like apples, then maybe you have a price that you're willing to pay for. I personally like apples called Pink Ladies because they're delicious, but they're kind of pricey. It's around £2.80 for 6. If suddenly everyone else decided that £2.80 for 6 apples was a good price and they went and bought the same apples as that, the price of Pink Ladies would go up. And I'd be like, well, I don't care how delicious they are. I'm not paying £3.50 for 6 apples. The price goes up. And I'm not the only person who probably thinks like that. So then, guess what? Lots of people decide that actually I'm not going to buy these apples anymore, and I'm going to buy Cox's apples or Gala's apples instead. And then what happens? Well, guess what? No one wants to buy Pink Ladies anymore, so demand goes down. So then, so does the price. And I walked back into the supermarket a week later being like, yeah, those Galas were all right, but they weren't quite the Pink Lady. And I see Pink Ladies back at £2.80, and you better believe I'm buying those apples. Mana Decentraland is in that you better believe we're buying it kind of stage for a lot of people. Yeah, but you didn't really realise, because you've not paid attention to Mana Decentraland, because no one's really talking about it, because YouTube is maybe a week or so behind what's really going on, and maybe people will start talking about Mana Decentraland next week, but I'm talking about it now. What else have we got to pay attention to? Look at this downtrend, okay? This downtrend is basically representative of kind of an accumulation zone. This is the accumulation zone. This is where people accumulate, they buy, okay? And eventually it will get to a point where it can't be held at that price anymore because there's not enough of it available, and then the demand goes up and, you know, suddenly everyone else floods into it. And we're seeing that with the social media aspect going in now, which has enabled it in the last 3 weeks or so to pump, and it is broken just above this red line. Why is that important? I hear you cry. Well, when it breaks above that red line, the next stop for a coin like this with a small market cap is 100% up, maybe even 173% up. This is the level we saw earlier on this year. In 4 weeks, it went from this down here, it went all the way up around 189%. And if you think this guy's just chatting rubbish, this is Solana. This is the same. Had the kind of like fall down zone, had the accumulation zone, it broke beyond it, and yeah, it did trickle down here, and then the crypto market picked it up. And then look, Solana rallies, currently up 169%, it was up 204%, and it's coinciding with those highs that it saw back here. And look, those were the previous highs. It runs into that zone, starts to retrace. What's this? AGIX, exactly the same. Has this little green buy zone, it breaks the trend, it does what? It goes, thank you very much, is 31%. Is there anyone else? HBAR. Doing a similar thing, messing around in this buy zone, starting to pick up, starting to get exciting. So what can I do? I can go back to this trendy little website, I can search for HBAR, and then I can see on the right, there's a few influencers starting to talk about it. Network popularity is pretty popular on Twitter right now, 92%, but the popularity on YouTube is way down at like 4.3%. Loads of people were talking about HBAR like back a month or two ago because it was really popular and people were just feeding you more information about the same thing. So in this example, we're just using Mana Decentraland. Well, okay, let's go back, check out the website of Mana Decentraland. If you don't know what these crypto projects are, then I recommend you go and learn about them when they're pumping. I'm not saying that you have to go and learn about this one particularly, but it's definitely worth understanding how these all work, particularly if you're new. If you're not new, you will know what this is because in the last bull market, everybody was talking about it for like a few weeks, but by the time you saw it on YouTube, it was probably too late because it had already done its 400%. So now I've learned about the project, I want to go over to their Twitter and sort of check out what things are going on. They seem to be going on with loads of development, lots of exciting things happening. They're featuring quite regularly at various different booths around the world for lots of different crypto events. They got music festivals and all sorts of different bits and pieces, but that's not particularly clear. So then we can go to the blog and we can maybe start to piece together whether there's something exciting that's about to happen with regards to Mana Decentraland. And then we can see that something happened. The AI World Fair just a few days ago basically hosted managed Decentraland, and if you go and dig deeper, you might find some stories that are sort of talking about things that are going on with the platform, where we can see that there's latest news and everything coming out. Recently, we saw Solana, Near Protocol, and everything boosting towards the upside because they had big announcements. In fact, next week in Lisbon, Portugal, Near Protocol have a big event as well, so maybe something interesting will come out of that. Definitely worth going and paying attention to these kind of things. Now I can come back across to CoinMarketCap. I can make sure the fully diluted market cap is fairly close to the existing market cap. I can check that the trading volume is extremely high, and I can identify that this might not be a bad time to be getting involved in this crypto, in my own personal opinion, because I took profits in the last few days from Solana, and I will continue to take profits out of other coins that have been pumping more recently, because now I've got bigger bags to play with. I can start to chuck maybe a few percent of my portfolio into coins like Mana Decentraland, which look nicely set up. Now I hope that will make sense. Now if you particularly enjoyed this tutorial, then brilliant, that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. But if you want more daily tutorials of what exactly I'm looking at and how I'm doing these kind of processes and all of these coins that I'm looking at right now, then you need to be in the inner circle, which is linked down below. Just $9.99 per month with a 5-day free trial. Not only will I give you my daily videos like this, I'll also give you my chart analysis where you can see Bitcoin we absolutely perfectly predicted like this. Same with Ethereum, where we've already been breaking out of this particular pattern going on here, and other various coins and things that I'm buying right now. You'll also be able to interact with a heap of different crypto enthusiasts based around the world who are also on a daily basis sharing their chart analysis and all of that good stuff. You'll also be able to join our venture capital fund, where you'll be able to invest like a whale into pre-ICO projects. You'll be able to invest alongside Binance Labs and other monster investment firms such as A16Z. This will enable you to be able to pick up crypto coins at the very best price. Like when I got into Tenet for 2 cents, and Tenet's price then went up to 28 cents after launch. If you want to find out more, it's all down below in the inner circle. Absolute no-brainer, just $10 per month, and it's going to absolutely change your game when it comes to cryptocurrency. And if you want to securely hold cryptocurrency, then I 100% recommend you get yourself a decent wallet, which is what this is. You'll be able to use the fingerprint scanner and connect it via Bluetooth with your iPhone or your Android device, and you don't even need a laptop in order to be able to use it. They support over 3,000 different cryptocurrencies, and you can search for them in this bar here, like Mana Decentraland. We can check that we've got Rollbit, which I talked about yesterday, you can find on here, and a bunch of others. They also have an Algorand airdrop free for any decent wallet holder that is coming up as well. So make sure you use that link down below if you want a discount on a hardware wallet, as well as to be able to qualify for that Algo airdrop. Guys, if you enjoyed that video, hit the like button. If you're new, subscribe. No reason you shouldn't be anymore. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.